Hi everyone, welcome to today's tutorial, and in this video I will be showing you how you can create a pizza slice. Right, so this is super easy to make and we'll dive right in. So for this tutorial I'm using this A4 size document and I've given a name as well called the pizza slice. So what I've done is that I've made two layers and rename them. The first one being the base and the second one being toppings. So the reason why I have created two layers is so that there is lesser confusion and it's a lot easier for you to create your designs. So because a lot of the times if you are designing something on the same layer, you might accidentally delete something or some confusion would happen. So it's just to clear confusions, right? So in case if you're wondering how I've made a layer, right? So if you come here to this layer panel and you see this icon right here, this one, it says create new layer, right? If you click on this again, you can see a new layer is formed. If you double click on this, you can rename it to whatever you want to do, right? So but now for this video I'll just be working on the base and the toppings layer, and I do not require this layer 3, right? So I'll just delete this for now. Okay, so I'll first start making the base and the sauce, what typically appears onto a pizza slice, and then add the toppings on the other layer. Okay, so I'll start by making the crust, and for that I'll be needing this rectangle tool. I'll clear the fill, do not require that as of now, and I'll let the stroke be the way it is. Just click and drag my mouse like that to make a rectangle like that. And you must have seen typically like pizza crust has rounded edges, right? It's not pointed like that, right? So go over here to this direct selection tool, and if you see in front of these points, this circle comes up, right? So this will actually help you to round off your edges. So you can just click on any one of these points and bring it closer like that. So you can let it be the way it is, or we could just make this a little bit more thinner because I quite like thin crust pizzas. Yeah. Okay. And now we have to make the pizza slice, right? So I'll go back here, go to the star tool, and if you click and drag, you might see a star shape coming up which looks something like this, right? We do not need the star shape, we need just the triangle, right? So to do that, so while you're still holding on to your mouse, just click on the down arrow key on your keyboard and press it twice, and you'll get your triangle like that. So you can see how big or how small you want, like that, and let it be the way it is like that. Okay, I'll just bring this over here to match with the crust. Zoom in on this, and okay. So this might happen with you as well, that the triangle is not aligning with the crust that we just made, right? So don't worry. So if we select the direct selection tool and click on one of these points again and click on the up arrow key, I can easily bring this upwards like that to match it with the crust, and done. So to make sure that this is centrally aligned with the crust, this base with the crust, I'll select this, go to align and click horizontal align center. Okay, just in case if it's not aligned, it will automatically align if I click on this, but since it's already aligned, so I don't have to worry about anything else, right? Okay. So now this edge is a little too pointy. I don't want that. So I'll go back here to this direct selection tool, click on this anchor point, and just bring this a little inwards like that to make it round. Okay, and yeah, that looks good. And now as you can see, it's started to somewhat take some shape, right? I'll select this again and make it a little bit more bigger, right? So it's easier for you to see, and like that. So we can make this a little longer as well. So what I'll do is, I'll select this anchor point, click on Shift to select multiple anchor points like that, and bring this downwards like that. Okay, so once you're satisfied with the shape, we can go ahead and make this more symmetrical like that. Similarly on the other side, you select this anchor point and click on the arrow keys to navigate, right? So you just need the arrow keys like that, right? Now it looks a lot better like that, and done. Okay, now what we have to do is now create the toppings, right? So what I'll be doing is, I'll be making a very simple pizza slice with pepperoni and olives, right? I'll go back here and select the ellipse tool. So now you must have seen pepperoni is just a thin round circle, right? So I'll click on this, click on my document once, and this pop-up box comes up. So you can give a certain size to your circle, right? So let's see how big we want this to be. Just add in the values like that. No, this looks too small. Or okay, let's bring this up to maybe 30 by 30. Yep, lot better, right? So let's just place it randomly on our pizza slice. So to make several copies, what you have to do is, like, first select the circle, click on Alt, and then just drag your shape to wherever you want to place your toppings, right? Like that, or probably even resize a couple of them, right? And just move them around however you want, wherever you want to place your pepperoni slices like that. Probably bring this smaller one right here, and make another one like that, and make this a little bit more thinner like that, and probably just bring this one a little bit more closer like that. And one last thing, I just want to make this one a little bit more smaller like that. Okay, so it looks good. So now the next thing we want to do is add olives, right? Similarly, you can just click and drag your mouse to make a smaller circle like that. I'll zoom in on this. Okay, so now I want to make a smaller circle inside this bigger circle, right? So now that my circle is still selected, I'll go over to the object option right here, go to path, and click on offset path. So this box comes up. So now we have to give a value in this offset path option right here. So I'll delete that and write in -5, and I'll see the preview, and you can see this small circle comes up, but it's too small, right? So instead of -5, let's make it -2 and see the preview. Okay, a lot better. Wait, oops, okay, and there you go. So once that's done, we can select these two and make multiple copies out of it like that. Make sure you're clicking on Alt and then making copies, otherwise then the multiple copies will not happen. And probably add just another one right here on this corner, like that. So now you can see this pizza slices started to take some shape, but it's still looking a little too plain, right? So let's add another element, let's add another topping, let's add basil leaves, right? So to make a leaf shape, we go back to this ellipse tool and I'll create a circle like that, and I'll make another copy out of it, but making sure that it overlaps my first circle as well, like that. Wait. Okay, clicking on Alt, dragging it like that. So I just need this middle portion and I do not require these two other circles as well, right? So to do that, I'll select this again, select both these circles actually, go to the shape builder tool and click on Alt so that the plus now becomes a minus, and then just drag it like that. And there you go, this leaf shape is made, right? So you can just drag it and place it wherever we want. Okay. So probably also resize this a little. Make it thinner, bigger, more fatter, however, and rotate this a little as well, like that. So since we have little space, right, we can always play around with the size like that, and just keep making multiple copies, right? To make sure, or please make sure that you're also clicking on Alt while making several copies, right? Place one over here. And in case if you're having a little difficulty with the Alt key as well, you can just use normal copy paste, right? So once this is selected, just copy it by clicking on Ctrl C and then Ctrl V. So if you're more comfortable with the Ctrl C and Ctrl V, that's okay. So you can just keep making multiple copies like that, and I'll add this one right here. I'll rotate this and just resize this a little like that. You can resize this, rotate it however you want, and that, and there you go. I started to look a lot better, right? So now let's go ahead and fill it in with colors, right? So the first thing we are going to do is color the pepperoni, right? I'll select all the circles that we had made like that. This, like this, and like this. Go over here and we'll select a nice red, dark red shade like this. Okay. I'll select the leaves and give it a green color since it's basil leaves like that. And for the circle you see right here, which can be a little tricky to fill it in with colors, right? So I'll select this again, go over here to this shape builder tool and just select black. Okay, I'll zoom in, and now this inner circle, this shaded part, this is where we want our color to be, right? Just keep selecting these like that. Zoom out a little. So let's see if I have missed. Yep, there's one right there. And done. Okay, so once that's done, we filled in the colors of our toppings. Let's lock this as well and come back to the base layer, unlock this and fill it in with colors, right? So we want a nice yellow color on the background. So I'll go here, click on yellow, and for the crust, I want this to be dark brown, like that, or probably even darker color. Yep. I'll unlock the toppings layer as well, since I want to remove the stroke, and just go click here on the stroke button and click on none. So this removes the shapes, right? So now that's looking a lot better, and it's like a flat pizza design that we've made, and that's it. So now that we have made our illustrations like that, we can go ahead and save it. We'll go to File, click on Save As, and click and just give it a name. So by default, the file name is coming to be Pizza Slice. That's because that's the name we had given to our document. And by default, our Save As type is also coming as Adobe Illustrator. We'll go ahead and save this and click on OK. The reason why I saved it in an Adobe Illustrator format is because in case if I want to make any changes in my illustration, I can easily access my Adobe Illustrator file. Right, now that we've saved it, and we've now come to the end of this tutorial. I hope you found this video to be useful, and with a little bit more practice, you can go ahead and add other elements to this pizza slice as well. You can experiment, you can add more toppings such as mushrooms or baby corn or anything that you would like to add, right? And that's it. I hope you found this video to be useful, and thank you for watching.